What up, YouTube? You can't stop trading and investing with your boy James E. What a beautiful day in the market, man. Everything was bouncing back today. So today I want to talk about a beautiful indicator that you could see in the volume to determine when you're going to have a bounce day. So I want to talk about AITX, the position that I took on that yesterday for an overnight play into today, and how I capitalized on it later on in the day as well. But before I get into that, man, please click that like button. Please subscribe. It is very much appreciated. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that likes to research and analyze anything I find interesting in the stock market, and I like to share that with anybody willing to listen. So that being said, let's just get right into it. So AITX took a beautiful profit on it this morning. I want to say, let's do the math here a little bit. Yeah, 9 cents. So let's do the math. 100,000 times 0.09, so 367, divide that by 9. So this morning, typically for me, I was expecting a gap up this morning. Let me get into exactly why. So if you notice the volume, okay, very similar to what you see over here. See this big spike in volume? So when you catch that last gap down, so this one gapped down, and when it gapped down, it had a huge drop. But look at this volume spike compared to the last few days. And then we winded up going green. This one happened to tank a little bit and then go green. But when this gap down right here, look at this big volume spike. It's like double than the previous day, double than these all days. And so when I noticed that, and then it dropped and had a bounce, dropped, bounce, and it was just maintaining above this resistance level. So that was a good indicator for me that, okay, things could be reversing, because now we're having a big spike in volume. It was a gap down, drop, and then now it's holding. You can see clear basing roughly around this red area. Yes, it dipped below a little bit, but it was maintaining in this area. This 9.5 area was key. And so, I bought it for an overnight play, expecting a gap up. It didn't actually gap up. It opened pretty much the same, but it started just having a massive push. But again, you don't really know in the beginning. So for me personally, instead of me holding on to it and have a potential drop, because again, nothing is set in stone, nothing is exact. So for me personally, I just decided to sell it, and it just so happened to sell me into this push. So I collected a nice $367 profit on it, which was roughly about a 4% gain. Not really my target, but like I said, and I talk about it, my goal is 6 to 10% gain, and my goal is to cut my losses at 3% or less. But if I'm not noticing strength here, and now I didn't notice strength because it opened flat. So when it opened flat, that told me it could go either way. Now, if it gapped up and I seen the bid size big over here and the ask size small, then that would have gave me an indicator that this thing could pop. But it opened flat, and then it did wind it up popping. It instead of gapping up, it winded up having a squeeze in the morning, which is very similar, because that's pretty much what a gap up is, just a nice squeeze. And this winded up having a great squeeze, and winded up being able to capitalize on it, $367. And then this was just having a beautiful squeeze throughout the entire day. I mean, look at this gradual climb. That is exactly what I'm looking for. And now if you look at this chart, it's very typical, and I see this over and over in the OTC market, is after you have a big drop, as you can see here, first green day, gapped up. Big drop here, first green day, gapped up. So now we having another big drop here, first green day. So in another account, I winded up purchasing 60,000 shares Right before the close at 13.47, winded up closing at 13.75, or actually, I'm sorry, winded up closing at 13.645. So winded up adding another $100 profit on the day. So roughly about $460 in profit on the day from AITX. And I bought this anticipating a gap up on Monday. So then I could also sell it into that potential gap up because, again, just history of the chart. You see a pickup, a spike in volume on this final red day. That's an indicator. It's a very good indicator. A pickup, and then we have a green day and then a gap up. I seen this pickup in volume yesterday, which made me want to buy it for the overnight. And then sure enough, I was expecting a gap up, but instead of a gap up, we had a squeeze, which is very similar. But I didn't know which way it was going to go. And as soon as I sold it, it just kept squeezing and I could have, made a 15 to 20% profit. But I'm happy with the gains that I took. And then also, and then when I notice this gradual climb, this is telling me it's continuing to get squeezed out because look at all this red. It's about time we're having some upward movement. And the entire market was like that today. SAMP, same thing. Look at green, same climb. OZSC, took a trade on that. I'll talk about that in another play, but look, exactly very similar. First green. AITX, same thing. SSFT, same thing. LTNC, this one, but very similar. A lot of the penny stocks were very similar today, and so capitalizing on that movement. So a nice $460 profit to capitalize on AITX, and now holding it in for an overnight play. Because typically when I see first green days, after multiple days of red like this, we usually have a gap up. So that's what I'm anticipating. So AITX, a nice 400 and roughly around $460 profit. A little over $460 profit on the day for AITX. So total about like a 6% gain, which is awesome. I'm happy with that for that day. So that's going to be it on AITX, guys. Noticing volume, using volume and the level 2 as indicators, and recognizing the chart pattern of first green days after a plenty of red. Take a look at your own chart patterns and see if you notice that pattern. When you have multiple red days and it has its first green, does it typically have a second green day after? Does it typically gap up in the morning after? And it's a play that I've noticed for years. So I like to capitalize on those. So that's going to be it for AITX, guys. If you watch this far, please click that like button. Please subscribe. You Can't Stop Mafia is a mindset movement, meaning never stop yourself, never stop your progress, never stop your education, especially in finance. Having multiple streams of income is an amazing thing, and the stock market is a place where you can do that. So AITX, a nice 6% profit, $460. Winded up closing out my week profitable. I had a really choppy week, but closed out strong today. Winded up with roughly around $900 profit on the week. So overall, that's not bad, especially with the whole rockiness I was having all week. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll be sure to keep you updated as much as possible. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.